This is VOA News. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton. Ukrainian forces began a counteroffensive on Saturday near the Russian-controlled town of Izum in northeastern Ukraine, according to a regional governor. Ukraine wants to push Russia from its staging area there and prevent it from encircling thousands of Ukrainian troops on the eastern front of the Donbas region. Russia turned its focus to the Donbas after it failed to capture Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, at the start of the war. But Ukraine has clawed back some territory there, including its second largest city in the northeast, Kharkiv. Top diplomats from the U.S. and Ukraine met in Berlin on Sunday to talk about Russia's invasion and the impact it has had not only on Ukraine, but the rest of the world. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken assured Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba of the support that Ukraine has from its allies and discussed this week's Group of 7 industrialized nations and NATO foreign ministerial meetings. Former Somali leader Sheikh Mohammed won the presidency again in voting by parliamentarians on Sunday in an airport hangar protected by blast walls from Islamist insurgents whom he must now fight for a second time. The 66-year-old who ruled from 2012 to 2017 reversed the previous election to defeat incumbent President Mohammed Abdullahi Mohammed by 214 to 110 votes in a third-round runoff, whose result was confirmed around midnight local time. And rival Libyan officials on Sunday resumed talks in the Egyptian capital, the latest UN-led efforts to agree on constitutional amendments for elections as the North African nation again finds itself at a political impasse. From Washington, you're listening to VOA News. Authorities in Southern California say gunfire erupted at a church early on Sunday afternoon, killing at least one person and wounding 5. A suspect was taken into custody. The shooting occurred at Geneva Presbyterian Church in Laguna Woods. It's a town of about 16,000 that consists of Laguna Woods Village, a retirement community for people aged 55 and older. All of the victims were adults and were being taken to the hospital, according to the Orange County Sheriff's Department, which shared the news in a Twitter message. One victim died at the scene. North Korea on Monday reported 8 more deaths from fever after recently announcing its first COVID cases, with the military deployed to resolve supply of medicines issues. Leader Kim Jong-un ordered the military commission to act on immediately stabilizing the supply of medicines in Pyongyang City by involving the powerful forces of the military medical field of the People's Army. That's a quote from state media KCNA. KCNA said a total of 50 people have died, with 1,213,550 cases of fever and at least 564,860 under medical treatment. India says it will keep a window open to export wheat to food deficit countries at the government level, despite an export ban announced on Friday. VOA's Tommy McNeil explains.
India's Commerce Secretary told reporters Sunday the government will also allow private exporters to meet previous commitments to export nearly 4.3 million tons of wheat until July. India exported 1 million tons of wheat in April. It mainly exports wheat to neighboring countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. A notice in the government gazette by the Directorate of Foreign Trade on Friday said a spike in global prices for wheat was threatening the food security of India and neighboring and vulnerable countries. Tommy McNeil, VOA News, Washington.
World leaders descended on the United Arab Emirates on Sunday to offer condolences to new leader Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al-Nahrian on the death of his half-brother, President Khalifa bin Zayed, in a show of support to a key regional player. Sheikh Mohammed, now ruler of wealthy Abu Dhabi Emirate, steered the Western Allied Gulf state, an OPEC oil producer and regional business hub, for years before being named the UAE's third president by a federal Supreme Council on Saturday. And recapping our top story this hour, Ukrainian forces have begun a counteroffensive near the Russian-controlled town of Izum in northeastern Ukraine, and top U.S. diplomats and Ukrainian diplomats met in Berlin to talk about the Russian invasion. Marissa Melton,